it together. I do this almost every morning. We're having a little yerba mate as well. Red light therapy is incredible. Super good for your skin. It's really good for reducing inflammation, and it basically is like it's basically, so this is far infrared light and near infrared or right light, I think that's correct. But it basically is like a super potent life force energy that's really good for your cells. So it's really good for injury recovery. It's really good for like reducing fine lines and wrinkles, reducing any inflammation in the skin. It promotes circulation, so it's really good for hair growth too. And it's also really good for mood. And I'm going to be putting, actually I'll show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. I'm going to be making sure to put my wrist in front of it too, because I'm having a little bit of tendinitis. So it actually really helps with that. I did a session last night while I was watching a movie, and I can already tell when I woke up this morning it feels a lot better. So that's what we're doing. Context is set. And the theme of our conversation today is letting things be easier. This is something that I think about or kind of play with a lot in relation to my creative pursuits within my business and outside of my business as well. Oh, I'm tired. I take that back. I'm not tired. I'm like refreshed from my slumber. So, to give an example, I feel like there's so many ways we make things harder for ourselves than they have to be. Often because we are stuck in a mindset or we're kind of in a belief that things have to be a certain way or have to look a certain way or we have to do things in a certain way. Especially, I think that's true, oh hey, in terms of like where things have worked by doing them a certain way before, or we believe that we have to do XYZ things in this way to make it work because that's what we've learned from other people of like, oh, how did you do this? How did you accomplish that? How did you get that done? Well, I did XYZ. I had this system in place. I did this, and then I did that, and then I did that, and then that worked. So that's how it works. And that's all good and dandy, but really the reason things work is because we do them, right? Well, there's more to it, but simply put. So the circumstances are never quite the same as the first time you did it in a particular way and it worked, right? We have different needs and desires at different points. So what I'm getting at here is sometimes we get bored of doing things the same way. Sometimes that maybe worked once, but it won't even really work again because we're not motivated to do it that way. That doesn't feel fun anymore. That doesn't feel easy anymore. And if it doesn't feel fun or easy, it feels like a slog. And we're not intrinsically motivated to do it. We're intrinsically motivated when there is some sort of like energetic feedback that we get from it. Ben's coming downstairs. So there's this book that I've been reading called Feel Good Productivity, where he talks a lot about this and how the best way to be productive is to make it fun. Make it easy, and when something is fun, it's easy to do because you get a reward from it. You get you're intrinsically motivated because you're actually getting energy from it versus putting energy in and having that energy drain out. So for example, with YouTube, right? Like I want to be showing up consistently on YouTube. I'm in the process of refining and kind of making editing and filming and all of that easier for me. Read more fun. And in the meantime, I am just showing up on lives, and that's great because it's actually really this is really easy for me to do, right? Like I'm doing things I normally do. If you guys just got on, I'm doing my red light therapy. I'm doing this while I'm doing things I am doing anyway. I'm muttering and puttering, talking about whatever is top of mind for me, and hopefully these themes or topics are things you're able to relate to and gather some insight around as well. And it's working really well for me because it's easy, it's fun, and it counts, right? Like I think often when something is easy, because there's this belief, this programmed belief that, you know, we pick up from all sorts of places, especially like the ethos of like glorifying hard work, and that we feel that in order to achieve on a subconscious level, in order to like achieve something or get the results, like we deserve it more if we have worked hard for it. Hang on. I'm on YouTube live right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm chatting with the internet.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, come say hi. Wow, this is a rare appearance. Oh, there were two
Nice.
people, they just disappeared.
Hello, world.
Hi, world.
What are y'all talking about?
I'm talking about how we can let things be easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes we decide things are challenging and they don't have to be.
Right, or we don't let it, I was just saying, we don't always let it be easy because we have this programmed belief that like in order to deserve reaping the rewards, we have to have put in the blood, sweat, and tears. And it's like, it's actually kind of about receiving, like that we think in order to receive, we have to have struggled, when that doesn't have to be the case.
Right.
Yeah. See you later.
Okay, see ya.
Thanks for your cameo.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a really rare occurrence. Ben just showed up, did a cameo. I love that. So anyway, obviously this is nuanced territory, and there is tremendous place for dedication. There is tremendous place for persistence and engaging with a challenge. But I think that we need to see that part of how we can engage with a challenge, or part of how we can engage or like persist and be devoted, is by seeing that the solution or the way to move forward is often not how can I force myself, how can I push myself more, but actually what is this resistance that I'm meeting with this project or this task or whatever it is, this endeavor. What is the resistance that I'm meeting, and where is that resistance speaking to elements of like, oh, I actually am bored doing it this way. I actually am not interested in doing it this way. So the solution gets to be, how can I make this easier for myself and more fun? And then to the point of what I was just saying to Ben, then it also becomes really about receiving and allowing ourselves to receive as well. And of course, deprogramming and dissolving our attachment to hard, arduous struggle, and that being what makes us deserving of ease. That being what makes us deserving of something working. And I think another element of it too, and I don't know if you relate to this, but like I definitely do, sometimes when things are easier, it can almost feel like we're cheating. When really it's just we're reducing resistance and we're being in flow, and it might look a little different. So bringing it back to the example of these YouTube lives, right? Like I have a goal. I have a couple of goals. One of those being I am developing the habit of creating content consistently on YouTube. I also have the goal of hitting 4,000 hours of public watch time so that I can monetize my channel and just do it more and more and have this be a bigger focus of how I share my particular transmission with the world. Honestly, in a way that's exciting because it's very accessible to a global audience for free. And these lives actually count towards my public watch time hours on YouTube. They've been getting as much views, or some of them, as my edited videos, which is great. And views, of course, like that's just the metric I'm looking at, but that's another way to say that, you know, people have, you all watching this have gained something from it, or like enjoyed it, or there's engagement, there's a synergy, there's a two-way connection happening that is also nourishing to me, because then I see, oh my God, like my speaking into the void, people are relating to this or finding some value in this, and that feels really good to me. So then I receive energy from that. That becomes fun. That feeds my intrinsic motivation to do this. But there definitely is that part of me, and this again is an example for that we could, the energetics are at play in many arenas for all of us. But then there's the element of, wait, is that cheating though? Because I'm not putting out a lot of these edited, like curated videos right now. Like, and it's like, whoa, what if, and I do still want to do that, and I still am working on that. But as I told you guys, it like, I'm developing the habit, and I'm also developing the skills to be able to do that with more ease. Right now it takes me a while. Whereas this is pretty effortless. So there's definitely that part that's like, is that cheating? Could it be that easy? And like, this actually works towards the same goals that I have, and like progresses me in those. And it's like, what if we just let it be easier? 16 minutes. I'm actually timing I do the red light therapy for 20 minutes. So I'm actually timing it based on how long I've been on live, which is cool. So yeah, anyway, reflect on that. Let me know what comes up for you around that. Where are you hitting resistance in something, in an endeavor that you care about, that maybe you find yourself procrastinating on, maybe you find yourself resisting, because procrastination is it's many things. It's perfectionism in disguise, but it's also speaks to resistance. And the solution isn't always just to push through. The solution is, of course, to persevere, but that could look like getting honest with yourself about, like, what is this resistance? Why am I not doing this thing? What is the wall that I'm hitting here? And a lot of times the answer to that is like, I don't want to do it this way right now. Maybe it's probably, you think of flow, which is this sweet spot of where things are easy enough that it's fun, that we're receiving energy from it, we are feeling momentum, and it's challenging enough that we're engaged with it, right? So usually that when you look at the resistance or the procrastination and you ask yourself that question really from a place of curiosity rather than force, right? And you ask yourself, all right, what would this need to look like, or what could this possibly look like or be like in order for me to want to do it, to be intrinsically motivated? And for things to be fun, they gotta be in that flow state, right? So oftentimes something is either too hard or too boring. So then it's looking at, okay, how could I do this, or how could I reimagine this endeavor, or my approach to this endeavor, to invite in more ease at my current capacity, my current skill level, and also to invite in more engagement, more fun. And usually when we're trying something new, when we're innovating, like that in itself is fun and engaging. It's really powerful, because then you're not working against yourself, you're really working with yourself, and in the process you're innovating, you're finding ways to do things that it's actually more sustainable because you're going to be able to show up and do it consistently because it's easy and engaging for you. Versus if we're trying to force it in a certain way, it has to look like this, it has to be like this, because that's what's worked before, either for me or other people. Like, the way that it's worked before for you or for other people is one out of infinite ways that it could work. And it also worked because when you or they did it, there was, like, that felt juicy, right? And the thing that felt juicy before doesn't always feel juicy now. If you've ever read that book, Where's My Cheese? Stick with the cheese. You gotta stick with the cheese. So yeah, reflect on that. If you want a couple journaling prompts along with that, I could post journaling prompts in the description. I'll also link my red light if you guys want it. And I'll also link my class Fun Factor, which is like an entry-level class I have. It's $22. And it's all about the value of fun for productivity, how to have more fun, or how to, like, basically orchestrate your life for more fun. And then we also get really deep into all of the scientific benefits of fun and kind of the anatomy of fun and the ingredients and how we can really bring this experience that's not only really good for us socially, it's good for our productivity, it's good for our brains, it's good for our creativity, to any endeavor that we want. So I'll link that below. It's called Fun Factor. And that's a really great way to, like, dip your toe into some of my teaching content if you want to, at a low entry point. Oh, nice. It's been 22 minutes. Okay, great. I think we're complete. So that's the question for today. Where are you hitting resistance? And where can you actually work smarter instead of harder there? How can you let it be easier? How can you bring in more fun and thereby boost your intrinsic motivation to do it? Where do you notice resistance to that notion? Where are you hitting against programming or kind of dense energy that says things have to do and be done in this sort of way because that's how it's done, just because, like, that's how one person did it, and then they were like, that's how I did it, and then everyone's like, that's how it's done. When there's so much more opportunity for us to innovate, and there's so much opportunity for us to make things work better for us while still holding ourselves accountable. So reflect on that. Let me know what comes up in the comments. And I will catch you soon, Internet.